It's time to hear the great Shih Tzu and know your stuff.
Hi, welcome to our little homemade training video. I'm Chuck Gore. I'm the safety officer for Cape May County Fare Free Transportation in New Jersey. We can say that I've seen my share of things as I've done training all over the country. But three people that you saw in the opening of that video, Adele Jones, Dave Smith, Brian Fitzpatrick, all tops in the country as paratransit operators. They've placed either in the top 5 or the top 10 of the national rodeo and have represented New Jersey for the last 3 years running. They're all operators from Cape May County Fare Free Transportation, and they all know their stuff.
We're going to start with the 6446 principles of safe passenger securement. Now, these are things you should be doing every day in your job, but are especially critical in the Rodeo Securement Challenge. This is something that Dave Smith actually developed, and he's going to join us a little bit later to demonstrate exactly how it's done. For this exercise, we use a standard institutional wheelchair, and we begin with passenger service. Now, if you haven't taken a CTA-sponsored pass class, now's the time to arrange for one. Well, at least after you watch the video. The first thing you're going to do is to greet your passenger and make sure that the person you're trying to pick up is the passenger assigned to you. There's nothing worse than taking Jerry to the gynecologist if he wasn't planning on it. And remember, as we get into our second step, to do nothing without asking first. Now you want to make sure that if the passenger has a lap or a posture belt, that it is properly secure. A freewheeling belt can get tangled in the wheels of the mobility aid and create some big problems. Third, you ask the question that may seem a little bit silly, but it's not. Ask the passenger if they need assistance in boarding. Remember, the ADA allows passengers to board the lift on their own if they choose to do so. And fourth, ask the passenger if he or she has all their belongings. Now's a good time to find out that they have forgotten their keys. It'll give them some time to make arrangements so they're not locked out when they get home. And now it's time for the safety check. Ask the passenger if you can do a check for the safety of their mobility aid. Check the brakes and especially the hand grips. It's not a good thing when Granny's rolling down the street while you've got a couple of pieces of rubber in your hands. And 6, ask the passenger to put their hands in their lap. Like the lap belt, a passenger's hands could get caught up in the wheels and make for a very painful experience. And remember, all of this is done on the ground before you board the passenger on the lift. You should be talking with your passenger through all this. The rodeo is a points exercise, and you lose points if you don't say out loud what you're doing. All right, so here's a quick review of the first 6 items in the 6446 system. You greet yourself and introduce yourself to the passenger. You check the securement of the lap belt. Ask the passenger if they need assistance in boarding. Ask the passenger if they have all their belongings, including their keys. And check the hand grips on the wheelchair and that safety check. Ask the passenger to place their hands in their lap, and you've got 40 points out of a possible 200, and you haven't even left the ground yet. Okay, pretty straightforward here. The first 4 of the 6446 system is putting the passenger on the platform. As you position them on the platform, you're going to want to do this in a critical order. You want to make sure that you have checked the rear safety plate before you board the passenger onto the lift. If that rear roll stop gives way while you're pushing Granny back, she hits her head on the bus, you're going to hit a lot of quality time with your safety officer. So you check that safety plate first, back the passenger onto the platform, secure the wheelchair brakes, secure the lift safety strap, and you have completed the first 4 of the 6446 system, gotten yourself 40 points, and you're halfway to winning the securement segment of the rodeo by doing the 6 and the 4. The 4 and 6 are next.
But first, let's talk some tricks of the trade, if you will. These rodeos are events, and for the hosts, that means pretty much bring the best stuff you've got to the party. That means new vehicles and new lifts. These new 403 lifts are not made for operational ease. They're made for passenger safety. That means if you roll your passenger back too far onto the lift and roll up against the roll stop, the lift won't go up. Same thing if the passenger has their foot on the front roll stop and that's pushed out, the lift won't operate. Just some tricks of the trade. Know your stuff.
A little while ago, I mentioned that Dave will be joining us in just a few minutes. He's the one on the right. No, Brian's not his twin brother, but they do have a tendency to dress alike. On to the second 4 of the 6446, raising the lift. Again, order is critical here, and rodeo judges that know their stuff will be paying close attention. After telling your passenger to prepare for movement, what you want to do is raise the lift up about 6 inches and check the front roll stop to make sure it is secure. Don't go halfway up. You'll have defeated the safety design of the device. Next, hold onto the passenger's mobility aid with one hand while operating the controls with the other. Never ever take your hand away from that chair. Secure the lift control either on the door or the lift depending on the design, and then roll the passenger into the vehicle at least far enough so that the bulk of the weight is on the vehicle. Secure at least one brake and never leave that passenger alone out on the lift. This entire operation is done from the ground. You do not ride the lift with the passenger. And that, my friends, is the second 4 of the 6446 system, and another 36 points added to your total. The last of the 6446 program is the physical part of the gig, no doubt about it. If nobody has mentioned it to you yet, you don't have an easy job, but your passengers do appreciate your hard work. First, from inside the bus, position your passenger in the securement area and lock the brakes. And for the rodeo, just say out loud that this is the time that you would stow the lift. You won't be required to do the action here, but every day you'll want to button up the bus to keep everybody on board very comfortable. With the new securement systems, order of front and rear are not critical, but with the 6446 system, the key is to do it the same way all the time. Your passenger's safety depends on you not missing a step. So, return to the passenger and secure the front securements to the frame of the mobility aid. Avoid movable or removable parts. Then release the brakes and roll the wheelchair backward to remove the slack. Attach the rear straps, again, to the frame and tighten all 4 securement points. Secure the passenger with all available seat belts. Make sure that the belts secure the passenger and not the chair. Do not run the belts over or through the arms of the chair, and make sure the lap belt is across the pelvic area, not the stomach or the chest, and that the shoulder harness is on the shoulder, not choking the passenger around the neck. All of this, and you're done, with another 60 possible points for a job well done. The judge will check your chair for movement, and they won't want any movement at all. That is no matter what the ADA actually says.
And did I tell you you get to do that all in 7 minutes? The 6446 system isn't necessarily new. It basically mimics the judge's sheet that's actually used at the rodeo. It just breaks it down into bite-sized chunks so you don't need all your fingers and toes to memorize it. Just 6. Dave Smith's on vacation today, but he decided to come on in and join us and help us with this video. Let's go outside and see how he does when he has to meet an actual rodeo judge.
Okay, you understand all the rules and regulations of this exercise. You will have 7 minutes to complete this exercise.
Okay.
Is there any questions on that?
None.
Okay, I have this start at the clock, and whenever you're ready, we'll start and we can go.
I'm good to go.
Okay, go.
Good morning. My name is Dave. I'm going to be your driver this morning. How are you?
Fine.
Very good. You are Ron, correct?
Yes, I am.
Okay, just want to make sure I got the right person. Just want to make sure you got your lap belt secure, and that's great. Do you need my assistance in boarding this morning?
Yes, I do.
Okay, do you have all your belongings?
Yes, I do.
All right, I just want to check your hand grips and your brakes and make sure everything's in good working order. And they are. Okay, and I ask if you would keep your hands in your lap. That way you don't get caught in the lifting mechanism when we get you up in the bus. You all set and ready to go? Okay, we're good to go. We're just going to get you over here. We're going to check this back safety plate and it's good. We're going to get you up here on the platform. Alrighty, just going to set your brakes. And we are going to secure the lift strap. Good, and we are good to go. You all set?
All set.
Heading up. We're going to go up just a little bit. Just enough to check that front safety plate, and that's good. I've got a hold of your hand grip back here. You're not going anywhere without me. All the way up to the top. We're going to rehang our controller. Alrighty. We're going to release your brakes. And we're going to get you inside. Alrighty, we're just going to set one brake, and I'll be right up to get you. Alright, you release your brakes. I'm going to get you over into the securement position. Alright, just going to set your brakes again. And at this point in time, we'd stow the lift. Next thing we're going to do is get your front securements on. to a solid part of the frame. Get the other one. To a solid part of the frame. Going to release your brakes. Pull you back just a bit just to get the slack out. Reset your brakes. And then we'll get the backs. One on this side. To a solid part of the frame. One on this side. Solid part of the frame, and then you're lapping your shoulder belt. Alright, and if I could ask you just to lean forward just a little bit so I can slide this right down behind you. Thank you very much. Just going to set this off to the side for a moment. And for your shoulder belt. I'm going to do the same. Just ask you if you could lean forward again. Slide this right down behind you. Just lift it up. Alright, and you can sit back again. Just going to bring this down alongside you. Untwist it. Let me just make this connection over here. Slide this down, put it right down on your hip. Take up the excess in the back here. Is that secure?
Feels secure to me.
Alright, I'm just checking for any movement. Get all that extra slack out. And we are good.
Passenger, I'm just going to check your chair for some movement. Okay, this is part of the exercise. Okay. All the securements are in the right spots. They're all in place. Everything's on. The brakes are all secure. Okay. And that's all I'll need. Thank you.
And that wasn't too difficult, was it? Well, at least for Dave. Remember that you want your front securements outside the wheelchair. You want your rear securements inside the rear wheels, and the straps, both front and back, at a 40 to 60 degree angle. And make sure you get those securement hooks as close to the seat pan as possible. And that's it, 200 points, perfect rodeo score. And how it's done in Cape May County.